My dad blamed me for my brother's death. My brother Daniel was only 10 years old when he died. I was 17. It was an accident. That's what everyone says. But to my dad, it wasn't an accident. It was my fault. It was a Saturday afternoon. Our parents had gone out and I was in charge. Daniel begged me to let him ride his new bike. I said yes, but with one condition. He couldn't leave the park in front of the house. I warned him 3 times. He promised he wouldn't, but he did. I got distracted. I was on my phone texting my boyfriend, laughing, not even looking out the window, until I heard the sound. A sharp, brutal thud, followed by a scream that paralyzed me. I ran. I saw his bike lying in the street, and his body was motionless. The driver got out, shaking. He came out of nowhere. I couldn't stop. Everything after that was a blur. Ambulance, sirens, tears. At the hospital, they told us he had died on the way. My mom collapsed. My dad didn't look at me, not once. The days that followed were hell. My dad wouldn't speak to me. When he finally did, it wasn't to comfort me. It was to destroy me. He looked me in the eye and said, "You were supposed to take care of him. You let him go out. It's your fault he's dead." I tried to defend myself. I yelled, I cried, I begged him to listen. I told him I only got distracted for a second, that Daniel had promised not to cross the street. "He was a child," he yelled, "and you knew how stubborn he was. Why didn't you go check on him? Why weren't you with him?" From that moment on, I became a ghost in the house. My mom tried to mediate, but she was broken. And me, I couldn't sleep. I had nightmares. I'd wake up seeing his body on the asphalt. I dropped out of school for weeks. No one knew how to treat me. My friends drifted away. My boyfriend left me. My whole life became silence and guilt. One day, I gathered the courage to talk to him. I told him I couldn't take it anymore. That I couldn't live in a house where I was looked at like I was a monster. That I needed him to forgive me. "There is no forgiveness for you," he said without hesitation. "I don't care if it was an accident. I entrusted you with the most precious thing I had, and you gave him back to me dead." That night, I left. I packed a backpack and walked aimlessly until an aunt took me in. I stayed at her house for months. I went to therapy. I started to rebuild myself, but the wound didn't heal. Not because of Daniel's death, but because of what came after. My own father abandoning me. A year later, I returned home for Christmas. Not for him, for my mom. She welcomed me with tears, held me tight. My dad was in the dining room. He didn't stand up. He just looked at me and said, "Hi." During dinner, there was silence. No one mentioned Daniel, but I couldn't hold it in. I stood up and said everything at the table. That it wasn't fair for him to blame me. That I lost my brother too. That I carried that weight every day. "You lost him?" he said bitterly. "I don't think so. You're still here. He's not." My mom burst into tears and I left again. 3 years passed. We never spoke again until I got a call. My dad was sick. Cancer. Terminal. He wanted to see me. I went. Not for him. For me. To close that chapter. When I entered the hospital room, he looked like a different person. Thinner. Frailer. He looked at me with tired eyes. "I'm not here for you," I said. "I'm here for me because I need to stop hating you." He didn't say anything for a moment. Then he whispered, "I thought that if I blamed you, the pain would go away. But it never did. I just lost you too." For the first time, he cried. I didn't say anything. I just sat next to him. I didn't hug him. I didn't forgive him, but I stayed until he fell asleep. When he died, I felt peace. Not because he was gone, but because I finally understood that my father's hatred came from pain, not truth, and that carrying his guilt wouldn't bring Daniel back. It would only destroy me.